Good Thursday evening, friends. I hope all of you have had a good day. I don't know about the rest of you, but I thought that once the holidays were over, that it would feel more like, you know, January and things would feel a little bit more normal than everything did last year. Because I find myself still going, oh, well, that'll be coming up such and such. Then I'm like, well, no, this is January. That's already passed. But because things didn't happen that were supposed to happen because of COVID, it feels like, the date hasn't got here or something. I don't know. At any rate, I stay confused about what time it is. Of course, if I worked, had to work and went into work every day, that would probably be different. But for me, I just looked and it's January 28th, Thursday. And I'm like, that's just hard to believe. But anyway, let's have a discussion. I was going to go live and I didn't get time. I got busy and didn't get time. And I've been slaving away in the kitchen. So, I'm going to have to go in just a bit so that I can, serve up my dinner. And that's sarcasm because our dinner is being delivered. So, let's see. What we're going to talk about is Rich Life and Dave. And all the lies that Dave tells. I know there's been several videos that have been put up today that have pointed out his lies. Three I know that I've been told about. Um, you see, to back up and tell you something, like right now, let's see if he's live. Yeah, he's live, and he has 157 people watching. Well, if he did not tell the lies and everything uh, that he did, he wouldn't have the people watching that he does. Oh, and by the way, Candy, you're still not there in the same house with him. You haven't been there in the same trailer, I should say, with him all week. Want to prove me wrong? Go get on the same mic that he's on. But you can't because you're not there, because you're not a girlfriend. You're just somebody that's in cahoots with him, probably for his drugs. Because if you listen to him today, he's been doing that screeching and yelling. And everybody that is familiar with Dave over the last few years knows that the end of the month is when he gets his fresh batch of new pills and he stays high all the time and he's screaming and he'll stay online 8, 10 hours at a time because he's high on those drugs. And probably Candy is a druggie too. Let's see. Where do I want to start with this? Um, oh, I see someone here says Fishing Babe hasn't been on the same mic with you since you got back to Oklahoma. You're fooling no one. Well, whoever you are that just said that, tranny in a bad wig, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. Because Dave's a pathological liar. And I'm just going to say this right now. Don't like it, don't care. If you are over there um, in Dave's, I don't want anything to do with you. Because if you're that stupid, um, I don't want anything to do with you. So don't come into my side chat because I'm sure that my mods will have known if you're over there and you'll just get the block. Um, First of all, isn't it interesting that, um, oh, here's somebody says, talking to Dave, sad. Really, the sad part is there are people in dire need of money and um, they deserve the money, not someone who can work but sits in bed all day collecting. Well, Dana, you're talking to Dave. Dave has not worked a job in over 25 years. He has been on disability and he collects $900 a month on disability. That's proven. There's no question to it. We have the papers because Becca gave them. They are certified from the Social Security Department, and they are real. And he has not worked in over 25 years. Um, let's see. Let's move on from there because anything he's going to say is just going to be a lie. So, last night he apparently went live and was showing some supposed DMs where Rich Life was talking to a 14-year-old and yada, yada, yada. Those were fake. They were fake, and Dave created them. And you know how we know they're fake? Because the minute that Jinjin, and I'm going to list all these videos below. Jinjin has a video up. Now, this is not to be confused with Jenny Jinjin, lovely woman. Jinjin, lovely woman. This is Jinjin. Some of you may know her more from being, well, I can't say she is now or not, but she has been a mod at Rosie's. I'm talking about that Jinjin. She put up a video up, and I will be listing in the down bar. I understand that David Guns did one. I'll list that down there, and then I'm always have Just Lurking's links down there because we're going to get to some things that she has up that you'll be interested in. So let's get started so I can get through. If those DMs had been real, then there would be no issue whatsoever going to this person's Facebook, because I can go to my Facebook and I can screen record or take my phone and record my Facebook and the messages and people that I have talked to and click on the link to prove who you're talking to. See, they're not doing that because it was fake. There was nothing real about those DMs. So he can sit over there and he can hoot and holler that I told Rosie, blah, 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 that he was talking. Look, let me just break it down for you, David. Rosie knows what a piece of crap you are. Rosie knows that you are a liar. Rosie knows that you can't be trusted. Rosie knows that you have faked many, many things before, going back to 3 years ago. You went to Rosie and you said, donate something about, I'll match a donation you have to the Breast Cancer Association. Let's donate $1,000. This was before Jeremy Hopper had busted out Dave's real name. This is when he was still fresh and new, so to speak, around here. Which is funny because if you've ever seen Dave, there's nothing fresh about him. He looks like a bum. But anyway, you know, he had not been busted out for being, you know, Dave. At that point in time, he was still pretending to be Mike the Millionaire. So he was challenging Rosie to donate $1,000 to the Breast Cancer Association. And if I can think about it, and I probably can't because I have menopause brain most of the time these days, it seems. But if I can remember, I will put Rosie's video down below where she called him out on this. She donated her $1,000 to a good cause, and when Dave gave her his receipt showing that he had donated $1,000, she noticed because it was done through PayPal, same as hers was. So the donation would have looked the same, and the currency would have looked the same. And Dave, supposedly a millionaire at that time, he was going by Mike the Millionaire, didn't know that you put a comma after the one. See, Rosie's PayPal had $1, comma, 000 dot 00, $1,000. Dave did not know that the comma went there. So what he forged onto his receipt, because Rosie donated $1,000 legitimately. Dave donated $10. So essentially, he's conned the Breast Cancer Association out of $990 and lied to Rosie, and she busted him out on it because his receipt said $1000, and that was it. And of course, he did have to tell the truth on that one and admitted that he and Becca had only donated $10. So when you're sitting over there yelling and hooting and hollering and everything, demanding that Rosie not have anything to do with these people, shut up, because she knows what you are, Dave. Rosie is nice to everybody. I could call Rosie right now and I could say, hey, Rosie, you know, coming out to California, would really like to stop in the rancho. And that woman, if she was there, she would offer every hospitality to me, just like she's done with other people, just like she did with Dave. I mean, you have no control over Rosie and what she does. If somebody was trying to tell you who you should and shouldn't have on panel, you'd have a fit. You'd have a fit. But I want to go over one thing before we get back into this supposed 14-year-old that Rich Life was talking to. Last night, Dave had apparently put this up. Now, this is how he throws things out there just to see whatever sticks, because he put this out there, except you see how mine is very legible and you can read it without any problem. Well, his was so blurry, you couldn't even read it. But he was wanting you to believe that these people were caught at Rich Life's home, and simply because the girl that was arrested had the same last name as uh, Rich Life does. This has nothing to do with Rich at all. At all. Let's read it. Two people were charged with the two people were charged with multiple drug violations after a deputy went to investigate a report of squatters at a home near Whiteville on June the 10th. Well, I'm not going to go through and read all this stuff, but the address was 580 Mill Pond Road. That's not where Rich Life lives. But even more than that, it should have been the big key that this was not Rich Life's house, because you can go back to his channel and you can see that his house is full of furniture. It says here that, pardon me, I have an eye infection in one of my eyes, so it makes things blurry when I'm trying to read right now. The house was empty, abandoned. There was no furniture inside. So, that right there, another key point that was not Dave or not Rich Life's house, because this house was abandoned. Then the address, which all you had to do was type in Google and it pops up the owner's name, a Mr. Ellis, I believe it was. Nothing to do with Rich Life. But Dave would want you to think that there's something nefarious going on there, because there's drug charges and possessions of drugs and intent to manufacture and opiates and Adderall and all that kind of stuff. Had nothing whatsoever to do with Rich Life. Nothing at all. Now, I'd like to point out something. I've never had a conversation with Rich Life. It's not like we're buddies. It's not like we're friends. I just simply know that Dave is a liar. And I know when Dave does things like this, that there's never any truth to it. Because for those of you that don't know, in the 3 years that Dave has been around, every single time that he has shown proof, it's been doctored, it's been false, it's never one time been real. Not ever. not ever. Be it a location that he's at, be it documents like this that he's putting up, it's never, ever real. And he's been busted out time and time again. But you new people over there that I don't know if you're shut ins and you watch too much uh, cop shows on TV. But let me tell you something, Dave, the people over there in that side chat wanting to play armchair detective, you're not doing one thing to help anybody be found out, arrested, whatever. You're not doing anything. The police don't give a rat's behind about what Dave has to say or the people in the side chat. They don't deal with hearsay and somebody on the internet said such and such and blah, blah, blah. They deal in facts because they know, especially in this day and age, that all things can be photoshopped and they can be forged. So let's take a look here. You notice here that this says Christopher James Harrelson. Well, if I were contacting Rich Life and wanted to DM with him, then his name would pop up, Christopher James Harrelson. Well, the person who was pretending to be the 14-year-old, let's take a look here. See right there? It only says Christopher Harrelson, not Christopher James Harrelson. Note something else here. You see the avatar is a van. When Rich Life has a conversation with you, and I cut off the conversation that he was having with somebody that was sent to me because it's none of our business, Rich Life always shows a picture of himself on his avatar when he is talking to someone, not a van. So this is someone who speaks with him on a very frequent basis and has verified that, this is how he speaks constantly with his picture there. Also, you can see that he was online when he was talking to this person because there is the green dot. So there's your first uh, proof, if you will, that this is not him. This was forged by Dave and somebody else, and this was not Rich Life. This person was trying to make it look like that it was somebody that it's not. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Nobody has contacted Dave. He has not spoken to Rich's mother. He has not spoken to the woman that he has a child with. He has spoken to nobody like that. His child is knocking on the door of being an adult. Okay. Rich Life has never denied that the ex wife, when the child was small, accused him of things for the purpose of having sole custody of the child. That happens all the time. It happens all the time to men and women when they're trying to do things like that. Doesn't make it right, but it does happen all the time. No charges were ever brought against him. There is no case against him. There is no warrant for him. There is absolutely nothing whatsoever out there regarding these accusations other than what Rich admitted himself. And by the way, I would like to point out that Dave was just fine with Rich until he got mad at him the other day. And then all of a sudden, this nonsense pops up. So, let's look here. Toast to go. This is Tyler. First of all, Tyler, I would like you to know, and yes, I have the emails and everything that I can back up and show you. Back in springtime of 2018, Dave, because I was still speaking with him at the time, Boris and I stopped speaking to him in August of 2018. Never have paneled with him, corresponded with him, or anything since then. But Tyler, Dave had sent me a bunch of information on you. And he said that you were a troll by the name of EBS, and that you were the person that had gone to Becca's job at Nationwide and held her at knife point with a rusty knife. And that he was going to go live and expose you for being this person. So you're welcome. I'm sure you'll want to thank me after you hear this. You're welcome. I took one look at the picture and I said, "You're mistaken. This is Tyler. He's gone by Wild Man. He's gone by Totes to Go. Uh, Tyler, if I am not mistaken, met Rosie on one of those, for lack of a better word, adult swinging sites. And I guess that's how he found his way to the BOYT then. But let's look at something right here. He's very outspoken here. Very. This was a comment that was left under one of Dave's videos where he had put up lying about this correspondence that went on between the fake Chris and this fake person. Because once again, let me state, there was never a conversation with anybody 14 years old or even pretending to be 14 years old with Rich Life. All of that was photoshopped and not real. Okay. So then we see here. Oh, wait 1 second. I have something that I need to put up here. 1 second. Want to make sure that I do this correctly. Yep. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. I am usually better prepared than that. Usually better prepared. All right, there we go. So let's read what Tyler has to say. You do realize that Chris has 4 Facebook accounts, right? Well, I know that he has at least 2 because he's got like a public page and then he's got a friend page. So I don't know about the 4 Facebook accounts. Don't care because this was fake. So if you look at those messages, that's exactly how Chris types his words. Well, isn't that interesting, Tyler, that you know exactly how he types his words? Almost like that maybe you would have typed those words for Dave so that it would look like it was Chris? Huh. Yeah. Allegedly. Let's say. Allegedly. So, I know this because I've texted with him in the past. Anyone who sticks up for Chris or says those messages are fake, I'm convinced you're just as guilty as him. Remember, Dave provides facts. Let me say again, Dave provides factual evidence at each proceeding regarding allegations. That is probably one of the biggest lies that you have ever told Tyler, aka Toast to Go. That is absolutely 100% false. Dave has never one time provided factual evidence about anything. Perhaps you meant to say false evidence because that's exactly what Dave has always provided is false evidence. And you seem awfully convinced that you're wanting to pin something on Rich Life. Huh. Let's carry on. Now, if Chris was smart, he would delete all of his social media platforms. And the truth of the matter is, people can go in other rooms and say this, that, and the other, but none of you have proof to debunk anything of what Dave just showed you. Great work, Dave and Decoy. Tyler, are you high or are you just an idiot? Because we all have the proof to debunk what Dave just showed. And we all have. We all have. But let's see here. He's got hashtag. Don't fuck with the fisherman. You will lose every time. I've never lost. I've been busting him out since 2018, and I've been right every time, and I've never one time lost. David Guns has been busting him out that long. He's never one time lost. Boris has never lost. Anybody that's busted Dave out has never one time lost. As a matter of fact, Dave has never one time won. Now, I'm going to invite you all to, after you get done listening to me, of course, or pause me and go look now, to go over to Just Larkings. Because you see, this is the interesting part. Chris, aka Rich Life, has no charges against him at all. No pending charges, no investigation. He's just a simple man leading a simple life that you people are trying to lie about so that you can have content, Dave, and make people think that you're some savior. Because you see, when you've been on disability for 25 years and your wife left you for a gay man and divorced you, and you didn't even respond to your divorce, and the wife was given a divorce by default. And yes, if anybody wants those papers, just ask me and I'll show them. You got nothing but time on your hand, and you've got a fake girlfriend that doesn't live in your state. You got nothing but time on your hand. So you're going to sit there, if you're like Dave, and you're going to make up things so that people will pat you on the back and give you accolades and, so on and so forth. Because that's all Dave has in life, is that. But let's look at Tyler, or let's look at Just Lurking and what we know about Tyler. Tyler has many arrests. Tyler is a felon. And it's funny, after David Guns and Jin and Just Lurking put up their information today, Tyler locked down a lot of his stuff and hid it and took the things off. Psst, Tyler, you're a felon. You're not supposed to have a gun, and you missed one of your videos that shows you holding a gun. So you might want to go back over there and take that video down because in your hurry, you left it up. Thank me later. Thank me later. So, what do we know about Tyler? Tyler is a felon. Rich Life's not a felon. Tyler is a repeat offender for driving without a license and DUIs. He had his most recent DUI just a few months ago, and he's on probation right now, and will be for the next 2 years on probation. And this is on Just Lurking's community page, by the way. And let's see here. Da 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 da. Okay, sorry, that was a text that I got. To go to her community page, Just Lurking, you will see all of this information there. So I'm not going to go over a whole lot of it. But, she says factual evidence. One last thing before I go to my appointment. It seems over at Dave's, it's totally okay to make accusations without proof. Then I guess I'll make one. This girl in Tyler's picture, which he's, by the way, taken down, she looks about 15 in a swimsuit. And that's true. She does. And she says, have a great day unless you're a lying receipt faker or a drunk driving, non child support paying woman beater. Because, yeah, did I leave that out? Tyler is a woman beater. You'll see all the charges there where he has beat on women before. You're over there cheering for a man, Tyler, and hating on Rich. Rich has no charges of domestic violence. Rich is not a felon. Rich is not a repeat offender for having DUIs. That's all Tyler. And all the charges are there, going back, 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 back. All of them are there. And there you go, where she says, she's got Jen stuff up there where Dave was busted out lying again. Let's just click on this for a moment. Hope all of you will watch that as well. I think a lot of people have. But wasn't it interesting that the minute that Jen posted this and busted Dave out, much like back in August when either Dave or someone else had made a fake Facebook account in my husband's name saying that we were separated and a bunch of nonsense about us. The minute that I called him out, because what they had done was they had tried to set up a fake Facebook account with the intent of uh, trying to befriend people in my family and whatnot. And obviously, my family knew that that wasn't true. So they immediately contacted me and were like, hey, somebody, has got a fake account up about you. And the moment that Thomas and I went live and said that it was fake, it was taken down that quickly because they knew that they had been busted. Let's see here. Jen shows that what the real account is for Rich Life. And she says, Dave just faked this account just to make screenshots. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. Um, Jen, Jen says, I asked him to go to the page and he didn't. Why? Because it's a fake page. And that's exactly right. Uh, Rich Life types mostly in all caps. And you know what? Um, I'm looking at some of the things that I've got that I didn't show that were, actually correspondence between somebody. He does a good bit and then he doesn't. So I don't know I can't say about that for sure because it shows caps and non caps. But then, boom, all of a sudden, uh, all the stuff came down that Dave had. So he was lying again, lying again. So I invite you to go over there and look and just remember when you're doing this that you're wanting to have Rich Life strung up based on no proof, no accusations, no law enforcement involved, no questioning. He's a free man to go anywhere he wants to go, stay anywhere he wants to stay, and unlike Tyler, does not have to check in with a probation officer because he's not on probation. Rich isn't. So when you are lying about Rich Life, who is a free white male and can go anywhere he wants to go, and you're cheering for Tyler, who is a woman beater, who is a repeat offender for DUIs and driving without a license, you might want to sit back and think about your values. Yeah, you might want to do that. So, there we have that. Let's move on. This person here, Sidewinder, don't know who they were, but they were right. Why does the top screenshot have a number 3 section of blue background in the middle of the back? The font doesn't look like Facebook Messenger. And you can all read this if you want to. Of course, because this person is talking sense, they were deleted because, you can't have anybody that's got a brain leaving comments under Dave's videos. And I know I've gone a little long here, so I'm going to try to wrap it up a little bit quicker here. But then you've got Cherokee Rose. Cherokee Rose says, Amen. This lousy piece of crap who publicly admits this horrendous acts, I sure hope Ellie picks them up ASAP. Well, he didn't admit anything because the documents were fake. But I would like to point out that this Cherokee Rose is someone who popped up on the scene this week, a new account this week, and whether this is her real picture or not, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But you can look here and you can see she joined January the 21st, 2021. So she's only had this account for a few days, or he or whoever it is that's pretending to be this Cherokee Rose. And they just talk horrible about Chris. Horrible, horrible, horrible. So, it's somebody that is working with Dave, I am sure, that is trying to make him look bad. And then you've got you people over there that are just so damn stupid that it's it's not even worth discussing. But like Cassandra's life in Abba Crazy, he's a sicko. All these other people over there were going, oh my stars, he's a horrible person. Well, you know what, Cassandra? Somebody sent me an email and they told me that they saw you beating up an elderly woman at Walmart. Cassandra, you're a horrible person. Somebody told me that they saw you beating up a woman at Walmart. You sicko. An elderly woman you were beating up. You see, what I just said to Cassandra is no different than the fake witch hunt that they're over there trying to get against Rich. And that's exactly the same thing. And that's what I'm trying to point out to you people is you would be pissed if somebody was pointing a finger at something so horrendous as this. And I'm a rape victim. I would never, ever defend someone in a situation like this if I did not truly, truly believe that this was fake. I would never do that. And see, the problem that we have here is when you have people like Dave and all these other people that have falsely accused somebody, it makes it so much harder for people like me who were truly raped to be believed. Because you've got people like this lying about such things. So why don't you think about that? You women over there, you people over there that have children, that God forbid something happened to one of you and you go and want to be heard as a true victim and you're just poo-pooed about it because you got people like Dave that are lying simply to get accolades and pats on the back. Um, if you are a victim, as am I, and as are other people that I truly believe probably are on this, YouTube or whatever, you can't take your experience and say, Rich needs to be killed. He needs to be strung up because I was raped at 5 years old and the person who raped me wasn't caught. So all my anger is going to go on Rich life. You can't do that either. You can't. Nobody contacted Dave. Nobody. Somebody said he says that he sent things to the FBI. That's a lie. He's never contacted the FBI. The FBI would not take a phone call from somebody like that and take information that way. You would have to go through the proper channels, and that's just a lie. Much like the lie that Dave told yesterday, I'm told that he said he was a victim of domestic violence and that he had basically been put in for lack of a better word, a witness protection program for people who had been assaulted domestically. Hey, Dave, do you know the woman that Tyler Wildman beat the crap out of? Is she in that same place with you? No, she's not, because there's no such place that exists. It's really sad that there's not, because, so many women that are victims of domestic violence, they beg and beg and beg for help, and they don't get it, and a lot of them end up murdered because of that. So there is no place that takes in someone like Dave lying about domestic violence. And furthermore, there are no charges against his ex-wife at all. For him to even, if you were even to believe what he said, she would have had to have been arrested. Charges brought up against her that she had, beat the crap out of him or whatever. Uh, there's none of that because the whole kit and caboodle is a lie. You're over there thanking a man, patting him on the back, telling him how wonderful he is, when this man has threatened in his own mouth. Now, let's say live on his own hangout with his own voice. Dave has threatened to rape women. He's threatened to drag them around and pull them by the hair of their head. He's threatened to kill me. He has threatened all kinds of abuse to Jeremy Hopper, Jack Sparrow, Cataract Killerz, uh, many other people. He has threatened physical abuse to, having people to show up and do them off. He has said that, and again, all recorded, his own voice on his own channel, not something like this nonsense with Rich Life where we're saying, oh, this is a piece of paper and Dave said such and such. This is his own mouth, his own channel. And it's just all a lie that he's ever going to do something like that. But the fact that he said it, and that he's going to put people on the dark web. And he already ran a handicapped man off the internet once. He targeted him and he ran the man off of the internet because he told him that he was going to be arrested for what, folks? Yeah, the folks in the back. A pedo. Someone who molests children. Isn't it funny that he accused this innocent man of the same thing? This man and his mother were bawling their eyes out because they believed that at any moment the cops were going to show up on their door. We're here to get your son, ma'am. And it was just all a bunch of bull coming out of Dave's mouth to get attention. And that's the type of person you all are cheering for. I don't know who Lisa WH here is, but it says Lindy is so blinded by hate for Dave that she would rather protect someone who hunts down homeless women and many other things. Well, Lisa, don't speak for me because you don't know me. And if you did know me, you would know that I'm not blinded by anything. And I don't hate Dave. To love somebody or to hate somebody, you have to care about them. And I don't. I just know what Dave is, and I know he's a liar. He's a con, and he scammed these kind of things many, many times before, and he will continue to do this. He scammed the drama community when he was going to help little Rosie who died of cancer. Just ask around, and people will tell you. This man has done nothing except benefit himself and make himself look good. He's not given tens of thousands of dollars to people here. I mean, it goes from, oh, I gave such and such 10,000. Oh, I gave such and such 80,000. You didn't do anything. The money that you did big shot around here showing around wasn't yours anyway. It was Becca's 401k that you blew through and a credit card because in your divorce, you've got $100,000 in debt that you haven't paid for. And somebody said that you've got a new charge for a $10,000 American Express bill that you haven't paid. I don't know, Fishing Babe's so rich, why hadn't she paid your stuff off? But moving along, and we're going to try to speed things up here. This right here is a screenshot that was sent to me from Dave's last night. As you can see, people are saying, oh, look, being Butch. Lindy, you jumped on me this morning. Read it and weep. I read it, being Butch, and it was fake and it was phony, just like I told you yesterday. And I didn't jump on you. I told you you were wrong, and you're still wrong. You're still wrong. Oh, and look here. What does Tyler say? Totes to go. Dave, I want a threesome with you and Fishing Babe. Huh. Isn't that interesting? Then we've got Lorianne. No wonder he's running. Who's running, Lorianne? Rich is not running. A man that's running does not put his address out there. Everybody knows that he's with Lisa Lynn. Everybody knows where he is. And he's on he's on camera and putting up videos all the time. Nobody running is making videos all the time. Uh, I'm very disappointed in this Izzy because I had seen her speak before and she seemed to be very intelligent. And this surprises me. It looks like the same way he talked to others, like Sparrow. This is Captain Sparrow she's talking about. And I guess she and Rich Life were having some private conversations. And she did have those posted over on that. Gosh, which Dustin, you've changed your name so much, I can't remember what the channel name was, but it was Smokes or something. It's now Brain Dead. But anyway, she had been on panel with him and she had put up screenshots of supposedly a conversation that she had with Rich Life. And I'm just saying supposedly because I don't know. I didn't get into it. Then you got Holly Undead saying, I don't know why my wrench is gone. People blocking, blah, blah, blah. Kimberly Starr says, oh my God. Tyler says, Rosie, I will lose all respect for you if you continue to support Chris. No excuses for this behavior. He just admitted his own guilt. No, he didn't. Dave faked a bunch of bull to make it look like he admitted to it. I wonder if I should give Rosie a call and tell her that I will lose all respect for her if she continues to support Tyler, because Tyler is a felon. He is a woman beater and he has no care or concern for the value of anybody else's life, or he would not have multiple DUIs, the last one just this fall. So I should call Rosie up and say, just what you did, Toast. God, what a hypocrite you are. What a hypocrite. Then you come on down and Kimberly says, Tyler, we have an open marriage. Now I want you all to look because this has to be the real Toast because they've got a wrench. This has to be the real Kimberly because they've got a wrench. Toast is up here saying, Dave, I want a threesome with you and Fishing Babe. That's got to be Tyler, or there wouldn't be a wrench there. This has got to be Kimberly Starr. Tyler, we have an open marriage because there's a wrench there. Then you go on down, it says, Let It Go said, he's still going after Poontang living with Lisa. Well, no, he's not, because once again, that was all information that was faked by Dave. Then you've got this Jamie that says, I knew it. I never doubted it. I fucking knew it. Well, Jamie, you didn't know anything because, as I've said, it was all fake. Just like what I'm telling you right here has got some fake things to it. You see how easy it is to doctor and Photoshop things? Let's look. This is the real one right here. This is the real one that came off of Dave's page right here. And Tyler actually said, fuck all of you sick asses who support Chris. And Kimberly did not say, Tyler, my husband and I have an open marriage. She said, holy shit. But you see how easy it is. This is the fake one. This is the real one. You see how easy it is to fake something and make it look like somebody has said and done something that they haven't. So, on that note, I have gone way overboard of what I wanted to go. I'm going to eat my dinner, then we're going to watch some Netflix and get ready to enjoy the weekend. So, you all have a wonderful night. If you have any questions, you leave them. We will answer them. And I can prove to you, as can David Guns, as can Just Lurking, any of us that you care to ask, we can prove to you over and over and over and over again all of the times that Dave has been busted out for this very same type of uh, stuff uh, before. David Guns has a lot of proof on his channel, and I will be listing that below. So, you all have a wonderful night. And if you are somebody that believes Dave blindly, shame on you. I certainly hope it's never you or your child or your husband or a family member sitting there being pinpointed with something that you've never done before. But you've got all these people that are just as much as wishing you dead based on a lie. Shame on you. You people have done far worse than Rich has.